the ultimate guide to growing perfect arugula. Arugula rocket, or Aruca sativa in Latin, is an annual or biennial plant from the cabbage family, Brassicaceae, that has secured its place in culinary and medicine since the time of ancient Greece. Its leaves, with a unique bitter and spicy aroma, are an excellent addition to fresh salads, sandwiches, pizzas, or cold appetizers when combined with various cheeses. In addition to its characteristic taste, this undemanding and easy-to-grow leafy plant is rich in vitamins and minerals. It stimulates the human body, especially the digestive, urinary, and respiratory systems. What is arugula? Arugula is a fast-growing, herbaceous plant that develops a rosette of leaves up to 2 feet tall and 1.5 feet wide on a shortened stem composed of notched leaves up to 7 inches long. The leaves grow on short petioles, somewhat reminiscent of dandelion leaves with larger apical lobes. In the warmer period, at higher temperatures, arugula develops an upright flower stalk that is branched in its upper part. The flowers of this plant are white or slightly yellow with prominent purple veins. After flowering, elongated seed pods that stick upright to the stem are formed. Each seed pod contains about 2 grams of small, round, edible seeds. How to grow arugula. The best way to grow arugula is to sow seeds outdoors from February to September or in a greenhouse throughout the year. But even if you don't have a greenhouse or a garden, you can still enjoy the papery taste of its leaves because the plant tolerates growing in a container very well. Preparing the soil for sowing. Arugula is not fussy about soil and can grow in standard garden soil. However, it prefers soil that retains moisture well, such as sandy soil with a neutral pH reaction. Soil cultivation for this plant is very similar to that for all other leafy vegetables. Before sowing, digging and loosening the soil to a minimum depth of 10 inches is necessary. Fertilizing. You can fertilize the soil with organic fertilizers such as manure or compost 3 to 5 weeks before sowing. Additional feeding is unnecessary once the plants enter the vegetative stage and can have the opposite effect. Namely, the short growing season does not allow enough time for the fertilizer to break down, and it accumulates in the leaves, which affects their taste. Choosing the right spot. When choosing a place and sowing, choose a position where the plant will have at least 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight but will be shaded during the hottest part of the day. In other words, unlike many other vegetables, it grows better if not exposed to the relentless sun all day, especially on summer days. Too much sunlight and growing in the shade cause increased bitterness of the leaves. Also, the position where you want to plant arugula should be protected from strong winds that dry out the soil, which harms young plants and slows their growth. But this problem has a simple solution. Plant arugula next to tall crops like corn or beans, protecting the plants from the wind and shielding them from the strong sun too. Sowing seeds. Arugula is usually planted in rows at least 10 inches apart immediately in a permanent location because it is difficult to move and transplant. Small seeds are sown in shallow pits 0.5 inches deep and 2 inches apart. The seeds germinate quickly, so you will see the seedlings in a few days. The percentage of germination is also high, around 90%, so you will have many seedlings within 7 to 10 days. Be sure to thin out 2 dense rows. Due to a lack of space, the plants thin out and do not grow to their full size. You can do the first thinning when the plants are about 2 to 3 inches tall. Watering. Arugula requires a lot of moisture, so you must water the crop every 1 to 3 days. In dry periods, watering is required every day. The best way to water is with a gentle spray, which avoids damaging the tender leaves. Insufficient watering, that is, lack of moisture, hurts quality and taste. The leaves thicken when not watered, lose their taste, and become bitter. Also, if it is not watered, arugula begins to bloom prematurely, and new leaves for consumption stop growing. Harvest. Harvesting begins when the plant reaches about 13 inches, approximately 40 days after planting. Harvesting begins by cutting the largest lower leaves with scissors, while the rest of the plant is allowed to grow. By removing the flower stalk, you can extend the period of growth of new leaves. Do not cut all the leaves at once, leave smaller newly grown leaves. The great thing about arugula is that the more it is cut, the more it is encouraged to grow and develop. Propagating. Once you plant arugula in the garden, it is very possible that the seedlings will appear the following season, whether you like them or not. However, if you don't want to rely on self-sowing, you can cut off the seed pods and store them in a dry and dark place until the next season. Diseases and pests. Arugula is not susceptible to diseases. However, as it needs a lot of moisture for its growth and development, a fungal disease may develop in the soil. A diseased plant can be recognized by its slow growth, pale leaves, and brown swellings on the roots. Anti-fungicide treatments with proper watering can eliminate this problem. The biggest pest problem is snails. Like rockets, they love moisture and shade, and if you don't stop them, they can devastate your crops. Of the insects, arugula is most commonly attacked by cabbage aphids, which can be removed by washing with lukewarm water or applying mild insecticides. Yet the best solution is natural exterminators of aphids, such as ladybugs or wasps, that mostly inhabit or visit our gardens. Arugula in pots. Arugula can easily be grown in containers. The pot in which you plant it should be deeper than 3 inches. Classic rectangular balcony planters are an excellent choice because 3 to 5 bushes of plants can grow in them unhindered. You can fill the container with almost any soil, but it is recommended to mix it with humus in a ratio of 1:1 before planting. Add sand, foam, or gravel to the bottom of the container to improve the drainage properties and prevent the plant from flooding. The seeds are planted at a distance of 1 inch from March on, covered with a small layer of soil and lightly compacted. Then you can place the container on the sunny side, remembering that the plant likes the sun, but not all day. Arugula as a perennial. Although arugula is most often grown as an annual crop in warmer climates, it can grow as a perennial. However, after several years of cultivation, such plants become less productive and less tasty. To avoid this, you can rejuvenate it by pruning older parts, which encourages the growth of new shoots. Rejuvenating arugula involves removing old woody shoots at the base of the plant, which usually forms after 2 to 3 years of growth. And there you have it, the ultimate guide to growing perfect arugula right in your own garden or even on your balcony. From choosing the right spot and soil to the joy of harvesting your own peppery leaves, we've covered everything to ensure you have lush, flavorful arugula at your fingertips. If you're inspired by today's guide and want to expand your gardening repertoire, don't forget to check out our video, 12 underrated plants your garden needs now, where we explore some fantastic plants that can add diversity and excitement to your green space. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future gardening tips and tricks. Have questions or tips of your own on growing arugula? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. And remember, life is better when you garden.